Welcome back to the channel. This is day 9 of Chicago Grit, Lake Bluff Criterium. This is the part of the ACC, so the big men's and women's pro races to follow this one later. Gets a really good turnout. This was a field of 67 riders, something like that, about 70 riders in my field, which was our biggest field of the week so far. Lots of people. It's probably about 35 or 40 of us doing all or most of the 10 days, and then a bunch of, I guess, locals, people with fresh legs flying in for just the final weekend. So yeah, biggest field of the week. I just looked at the map real quick, and I thought it didn't look like a super technical crit, and I'd be fine to tail again for a while and then move up late, kind of similar to Northbrook. I think it was Northbrook that I tail again successfully on. That was not the case, however. It is actually quite a technical crit. These corners are, the roads are not super wide, solid 90 degree turns with a little chicane-y sort of section. So yeah, it was pretty hard to make up spots other than on the start-finish straightaway. And even there, early in the race, obviously people were absolutely drilling it full gas on the front. So we were doing, look at this, like 800 watts out of the final corner. We'd take it pretty slow in the back of the field, and you'd have to go from like 20 miles an hour up to 32, 33 every time on this straightaway, which was painful. It was a little bit of a cross tailwind here too, so the draft was pretty bad. So I was still thinking I could tail gun a little bit, so kind of letting a gap go, and I'll close it down through this corner. But I quickly came to realize that there were too many people in this field, like a lot of sort of inexperienced riders towards the back, doing wild things, taking bad lines, really slowing you down. So the tail gunning strategy was just not going to work. But unfortunately, it was a bit too strung out to really move up successfully in the beginning, so I just had to kind of put up with a few laps of this leg destroying surging every corner until the pace went out of the race a little bit and I could start moving up. So we're only on lap 3 here, blasting 800 watts up the straightaway again, and I'm just kind of getting fed up with all the surging. And like my heart rate isn't bad yet, but I have pretty tired legs from the day before. Elgin was the hardest race of the series so far for me, or at least, I mean, it wasn't that hard because I was doing pretty well, but it was definitely the most power I had to do in any race so far, just with the climb on my course and like riding a pretty attacking race there. I was gassed today, so I knew I couldn't keep doing these surges all day, so I'm thinking it is time to move up. So just looking for some spots to move up here. I'm gonna start thinking about chopping some corners, so take this kind of hot line up the inside, just stay pedaling, don't have to do too many watts, and make up 8 or 10 spots here. Yeah, just kind of blast through the inside line and make a move through there. Still surging like crazy on this start-finish straightaway. Guys are blowing up, having to close gaps, so yeah, the pressure's on to move up before there's a field split. I'm hoping at some point it'll bunch up and I can make up a ton of spots, but in the meantime, this right-hander coming into it, take the inside line, pick up another 4 or 5 spots here at least. That was pretty reliable to make my way towards the front. Another time through the final corner, another gap opening. This is unsustainable. Can't do this all race. Really just desperate to get to the front. I'm only 5 laps in, and my heart rate is, I mean, 177 isn't that high for me, but I'm on a pretty fatigued day today, so I think it's not going to get much higher than that. I'm absolutely suffering. We're only 5 laps in. I'm thinking we may not make it here if I don't really make some moves. I'm slowly getting there, and I'm kind of up towards, you know, at least the front of the mid-pack, where I'm getting surrounded by some riders who are a little more predictable. So I can take this kind of outside line here where it opens up, slide up another 4 or 5 spots, and yeah, just really trying to pick off riders as much as I can. Another massive start-finish gap opening up. This guy's looking tired, but I'm going to let him take me most of the way and then just try to close it through the corner so I don't have to burn too much of a match. But man, that is that's a big gap. 1 or 2 more laps of this, we're going to be in trouble. Fortunately, it started to slow down a little bit, so I don't have to surge too massively here, but yeah, we're getting cooked. So a couple laps later, you can see on the right-hand side there's a little crash. It kind of looked worse to me at the time, but it's just because someone has also parked a bike trailer there. A couple guys go down, which they seem to be alright. They just got back in the next lap. And it was kind of fortunate for me because I think that caused a little bit of a field split. I heard the announcer say there were like 10 guys gone off the front, which is not a move. That's just a split where the crash happened. So that chase sort of just lined things out for a couple of laps, where everyone was drilling it and just kind of holding position. So that made things a little smoother for a couple of laps, kind of settled down the race. And then once that craziness caused by the split was over, things sort of settled down, and there was a little bit of a lull. Yes, I think this is the lull where it all comes back together, and now is my chance. I see everyone wide across the road, so I'm just going to attack and go to the front. There's 2 guys off there, so yeah, I'm just going to kind of bridge across to them and get out in front of the race, because I'm confident that, honestly, like riding in the front couple of wheels is going to keep my heart rate a lot lower than sitting anywhere back of like 8th or 10th wheel. It's just too much surging and shuffling back there, so I'm not thinking this is a move that's necessarily going to get away, but it's worth at least being on the front of the field just to take my own lines through these corners. Not doing a whole lot of power, carrying the most speed that I have the entire race through here, so it feels good. Yes, I do make contact. I've got hashtag guy in white on my wheel. He won yesterday in that solo break that I sort of went across to, and then sat up. I didn't commit. Still bummed about that. Should have gone. But yeah, he's obviously a strong rider. This guy in front of me has been riding well all week, going through some breaks, so I'm going to put my head down and take a pull and see if we can roll this for a little bit. You take this final corner, like, it's crazy. I'm doing 32 here, which is like the speed I had to surge to every other lap, but doing like 20 or 22 through the corner, so it just feels so much better. Hashtag guy in white just cooking me with this attack within the breakaway. I guess that's what you gotta do if you want to keep the separation up, but it's just roasting my legs and not helping out with the breakaway too much. But he's a strong dude, so I guess he's doing what he's got to do. But yeah, it's going to come all back together here. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of sit top 10 wheels as long as I can throughout this race and just not get caught up in the scrum back there. Trying to keep the speed high, keep the power low, and we're going to recover a little bit. So I've been sitting in for a bunch of laps now. Heart rate's back under control. It's been way more smooth. Don't line up in the back is the lesson learned here. We probably would have been fine at most other races this week, but this was one where the front would have been good. So shuffle back a little bit here, and I'm just going to see an opportunity where it's kind of slowed down. I'm feeling good, so I'm just going to roll off the front. Not really a very serious attack. I just want to establish position back in front and, let myself get caught by a few people so I can sit in, but I want to establish position up in the top 5 again. So they're on me right away, but that's alright. I'm just looking to fold back into the field here. I don't mind doing a few watts on the front. You can take your choice lines and, yeah, just keep my speed high for very little power. So we are coming into 1 to go here. This is the final corner into 1 to go. I'm sitting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th wheel. Feeling good about the position. Heart rate pretty good. Legs a little cooked, but overall pretty good. Kind of slows up on the front. I don't know who was on there. I kind of just stopped drilling it. One guy comes past me, and I'm a little bit boxed, I guess. I don't know, I got space there, but I just don't react quick enough to really jump on the pedals and get ahead of this one. So I get passed by a lot of guys here. I do react and get the power up and kind of cut the inside of this corner, so I probably I got back in front of like 5 or 6 guys who passed me, but I probably lost like 5 spots in that interaction. And once, yeah, someone's drilling out on the front here, and once you're have your position established coming into these, like other than the first corner, it's really quite hard to pass. This one guy on Apex or something, he does take, I should have taken that outside line. I regret that, because then you're set up on the inside for the next one, and he gets his bars in front of mine and just kind of pushes me off the wheel here. Good move by him. Yeah, and then we're just drilling it. Not really much of a passing opportunity here. Set up for this corner. Hashtag guy in white, unclipped or something. It's got a mechanical, unfortunately. Still sitting like 10th or something, which is not terrible, but I've had to burn a lot of matches to kind of surge to get back into position. Yeah, and I guess with all the surging in this race, like once I do a little bit of power on this lap, my heart rate is climbing back up. So I pop off a little bit of a sprint here. I mean, it's the end of the week, we're tired. I don't even hit 1,000 watts, and I can't hold it for very long. I'm out of the draft. And yeah, just losing ground. A couple people come past me. I rolled into 13th or something again. Not the best result, but with the legs I had on the day, it was honestly alright. Just regret lining up in the back, because I think I could have had a little more left for the end, but what can you do? Tomorrow's Fulton Market, night race after the, well, like 6 p.m. after the men's and women's pro races, so that'll be cool. Should be a good atmosphere. Gonna get some footage from the pro race before, probably, and hopefully some in race. So yeah, stay tuned for that video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.